Hi, I want to make this video about spanking. And here's the thing: is I I strongly don't believe in spanking. And here's the thing: I have been spanked, so I know exactly what I'm talking about here. And the reason why I'm against it is because I don't believe that it's beneficial um, in raising the children. I think too is that it seems like a lot of people just assume that if the child isn't spanked, then the child's just gonna become a criminal or an entitled little brat, not gonna appreciate things, not going to take responsibility for things. And I just don't even agree with that. And here's what: I have been spanked, and despite that, I haven't taken responsibility for some of the things that I do, or appreciate some of the things, or even try to take responsibility for some of the things. But even though that's the case, I not like I committed crimes or try to be a very bad person or anything like that. And again, this is one of the reasons why I thought like, well, I was spanked, I turned out fine, which is not really true. I have I've had wonderful people teach me so much over the years, especially my parents, and I do appreciate everything they have done for me. It takes a lot, or it sometimes for some other people take a little time to really realize some of the things they were doing. I remember one time I was just like spending money on overtime, spending money on overtime. I didn't think about it. It's because I was thinking like, oh, I want this game, or I want this book. I always been like, I want to buy this book, I want to buy this video game. I mean, I was basically paying for this stuff for myself. I'm not backing my parents to buy it for me. I was just basically like, oh, I'll buy this, I'll buy this, I'll buy this. And for a while, I was just like, notice I'm losing money all the time. And so I was just like, I'm losing my money. Oh, I'm so upset, I'm so angry about it. But it took me a while to realize it's like, um, I don't know why, I don't know how, but it's like, I stopped to my bedroom one time. This was a long time ago. And I'm just like, wow, I did not need most of this stuff. And I did not I wow, I just sometimes feel like someone just like kind of like they smack me upside the head, kind of awareness like, whoa, okay, I did not really need all this stuff. I should not be spending so much money on all this stuff. And so because of that, I was able to actually start saving more money, and and and, and I was able to try to get myself enough money to buy myself this car, and even though there's no places for me to afford rent around here, so that's been one of the other things that was really upsetting, was because like I tried to ask for help for figuring out how to try to find a place to live. I get told to stop being selfish and stuff like that. So the way I see it is that people don't realize that it is not simple as like they should have been spanked or something like that. Like if they spanked, they would learn better or something like that. No, they won't. I know somebody who has been spanked. They are a thief. They are always disrespecting everybody. They're never taking responsibility for anything. There's a lot of other stuff. They've been to jail, despite the fact that he has been spanked. And the reason why I'm not telling you his name is because confidentiality. Um, it's like despite all that, the spanking didn't seem to do anything. The way I see it is like it's not the spanking itself. It is how you decide to teach the person. And that's one of the reasons why I thought, like, we would look at a bunch of young people today and that were acting out and uh, doing a bunch of stupid stuff and or just like entitled and narcissistic and stuff like that. It's like they think, well, they should have been spanked. But I don't think the spanking would have done anything for them. And the way I see it is more of what they should have been taught. Again, I don't know everything. I don't know what exactly went on in their upbringing, so I can't say, well, they should have done this, they should have done that, because I have no idea. So I'm not saying anything of that, because it's just my thought that, let's say, for example, if I had a kid, I want to make sure they don't become like a snowflake or a entitled brat or someone who would just be like, never take responsibility for themselves or something. So I think for me, let's say if I had a son or a daughter, they would say to me, "Daddy, Daddy, I want that toy, or I want this game, or I want this or that." I feel like I'll be like, okay, you're gonna have to earn that then. So maybe like say if I would say, okay, depending on how much it costs, like say if this is like you want to buy a $60 a game, I think it's a little silly for all reasons. So, but supposedly if this kid's like, I really want that game, and it's a $60 game, I would say, okay, let's work this out. $10 a week. That would be like 6 weeks. All you have to do is clean your bedroom, do your homework. Well, you'll be homeschooled, so do your studies. It'll just be for a short time, so you don't have to be like you have to do all this thing every single second. It's just like for a couple of minutes or a couple of or like maybe an hour or something like that. Just do a little bit of thing, and then you got money toward the week of $10, and then 6, then we can get you that game. Because I feel like maybe that could probably have a help of teaching responsibility. Well, you want this game, so you'll put the effort into it. It's what you want. I remember my grandma would tell me too a long time ago when she was still alive. If this item you want to get this, you better appreciate it. It better be what you really want to have. And so basically, I've learned to appreciate things I've decided to get, even if it's something that somebody else buys me. I remember my parents bought me a tablet for Christmas, and I learned that it was like a over $200 tablet. I only remember asking a tablet, but I didn't expect them to spend that much on a tablet for me. But it's because of that I was taking extra care of it and trying to make sure it doesn't get broken, doesn't get stolen, or anything like that. I always try to make sure it's okay. And so far, even down to today, it's been several years ago on this, so today is still good and I still have it. And that's one of the reasons why I think it's always important to teach to value stuff, and if you want something you have to earn it. That's the thing. Again, I am not saying that's probably not what people did, so I have no idea what's been going on with everybody else's kids. They're acting like a bunch of snowflakes today, so I don't know. So I'm not saying anything against the parents. So another thing I thought too was, yeah, kids are going to misbehave. They're going to do things that you don't want them to do. And I do think it is important to try to teach them boundaries, right from wrong, a bunch of other stuff that is important. But again, it's not to say that I don't, that I know all the solutions to everything. I don't. So, and because it seems like a lot of people assume that there's only one solution to everything. Let's say your kid is autistic. You're not going to spank autism out of your child. Your child may also be someone who has other problems. You're not going to spank it out of them. The kid may be actually going through something that's really going on. They need your attention. They need your help. Let's say your kid was just like getting all angry and slamming things, and you think the best solution is to just beat the crap out of them for it because you're now angry too. No, that's not good. I would rather they were like, okay, look, stop. Come over here. Let's talk. Why are you upset? Let's talk, okay? Because your kid wants someone to listen and want to care about them. That's what I feel like should have been done. I made a mistake of getting angry myself. One time, Um, because I had this little sister who was decided she was angry about something. I had no idea what it was. It was a long time ago. We were a whole lot younger. She just get angry and upset. So I started slamming the door. Slam, 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 slam. I got angry. So I got angry and blew up at her. I mean, again, I was just a kid. I didn't. This is one of the reasons why I think what should have been done for people to be like, okay, stop getting angry yourself. Your kid is acting up because they're angry or whatever is going on, and it's best if you're getting angry, you better back off. Just stop. Don't do anything. It's just like, that's one of the reasons why I see a lot of parents sometimes would just be like, they get so angry they start beating the crap out of their own kids out of anger. That is not a parent trying to teach right from wrong or anything else. That's just a parent who is just losing their temper and taking it out on their child. And I've seen that all the time. I've seen it in me too. And that's one of the reasons why I'm just like, I don't want to be like that. It scared me. It's like, I don't want to be the type of person that's got to be like, oh, I'm so angry. You did that. I'm going to hit you. Why would I want to do that? Because I'm angry? That's dumb. It's horrible. The way I see it is just like, no. Nobody's going to lay a hand on anybody. If you're angry, you're upset, back away. And even though they were doing something they should not be doing, you should not be reacting in anger. Sometimes you want to be like very serious, like, hey, get over here. Being strict, being firm, teaching discipline, I think is necessary. I think a lot of people also confuse discipline with being the snot of your child or something like that. I mean, especially if you say if you went to martial arts, they talk about discipline. Nothing in their discipline means beating the snot out of each other. It's more of a lessons, while being disciplined, and a lessons of, I'm gonna lose my train of thought. Sorry, but discipline is not beating the crap out of your child. And I feel like people are just taking everything the wrong way when it comes down to their belief in spanking. And that's another thing I realized too. How people seem to assume that if you don't spank your child, they're going to become a delinquent or a snowflake or whatever. My thought is, how would you know what would it be like if you don't spank someone, if you have never been spanked at all? Let's say, for example, if you have never ever been spanked, do you seriously honestly think you would actually act out badly? Like your parents couldn't have possibly teach you other things and try to take measures to make sure you don't do bad things and start doing a lot of things to teach you to take responsibility, to appreciate things, stuff like that. I don't know. You think that you would still act like a delinquent and entitled snowflake? I don't know about you, but if I, whether or not I would be spanked or not, which I was spanked, if I have not been taught to appreciate some stuff, would I have ever learned to appreciate it at all or not? Would I have been taught to save my money and think about, like, do I want to buy this or not? Is this really important to have? If I've been spanked or not, I don't know. The way I see it is, I probably would have been taught all these things, not being spanked, and still learn these things. Because I don't see how spanking would have taught me all these things. And I think it would probably have been more wiser to start teaching all these things if you want them to not become a special snowflake, an entitled little snot brat, a criminal, or stuff like that. So, it probably would be better to teach them stuff and let them fall too. And that's another thing I thought too, is if your kid is making so many dumb decisions that is costing them the money and they're not learning things, that they need to fall. They need to realize it sometime sooner or later that you have to take responsibility, start owning your own stuff. I feel like we are not doing that. Instead, we're just either being a snob of our child or letting our child do virtually whatever they want without any recourse, without any what reason to ever try to teach them anything. Like, I've seen parents who sometimes be on their phone while their child is running around acting crazy. Personally, for me, my kid feels like I can't sit still. I want to try to run around, move around all over the place. I'll be like, I'm going to take you over to the park. So we'll go to the park, you go crazy all over the place. I play a game with them. I'll just go out there with them and be like, hey, let's go play, let's do this, whatever. Be a part of my kid's life. They want action, they want to do things. And some parents are just like, I'd rather be on my phone like a little 16-year-old. It's like, I have seen bad parenting, and the way I see it is that's probably one of the reasons why the kids act bad. Is because the parents are not being a parent. They're just little teenagers themselves. And they're probably one of those type of people who have themselves been spanked. They're still doing this. Not taking any responsibility. Again, I don't know because I don't know everybody's life. So I don't know everything that's going on with everybody's life. So I'm just making a guess. So don't try to jump on me on that. So, I mean, this is my take. I don't believe in spanking. I think it's the dumbest thing to do. And people need to understand there's a difference between spanking and discipline. And that all the things you were worried about, like not taking responsibility, not appreciating things, not being a towel snowflake or stuff like that, could have been taught in a way of not going that route. And it doesn't have to be spanking to do that. So that's my thought. And thank you for listening. So, talk to you soon.